Who do we have here?
Hello!
Hello!
Vrishakapi was on the second episode, and during that recording, Kailash was doing a parikrama, and we said, bro, I want you on the show. That was at, I think, 1 year ago. So you can imagine the scheduling in the ashram, how you can plan things. So today's action day, it's beautiful weather. We met Vrishakapi, he's on his duty, his seva, and I snatched Kailash from the ashram because you don't get sunny days. So hopefully it's gonna be a really nice episode. Thank you, Vrishakapi, for being a pioneer. And thank you, brother, for accepting. Oh, Jeta Das. Maybe, look, this is how it happens. I say, maybe one day we will do a show together, huh? You will, for Walk the Talk, bro. Walk the Talk. What do you say? Yeah, we do a walk, maybe? Yeah, I have it on camera now. 2 years later, 2 years later, we're gonna do a Walk the Talk with Jeta.
Okay.
Thank you, brother G.
Have fun.
Blessings.
And subscribe.
Subscribe, this is good. Yeah. People should subscribe. It's gonna help us.
Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Thank you.
Jai Okay, brother, let's go. Wow, super nice. So now that I finally caught you, oh my God, I've been running after Kailash for a year because you're super busy. I mean, I don't know what you've been doing, what you've not been doing, but you are super busy. I think it was the hardest scheduling so far. So I'm quite curious to have this conversation with you, brother. If you can share with us your story, I would be so grateful. So, from the beginning, how did you end up in an ashram? Where do you come from? What was your background? And what's the story? Like the story from the beginning, how you started walking the spiritual path.
So,
Walk the talk. Prabhu's doing the important stuff. We're just walking and talking, but you're actually doing stuff.
so the story starts, let's say, with me being living in Switzerland.
Switzerland, yeah.
Yes, I was running a company. So the company
I'm
was.
just gonna check. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's recording. Yes, sorry.
The company was producing and selling food specialties, and the company was very successful. So over 15 years, and this was my desire, to have this company, to feel what does it feel to be successful in business life, and how does it feel to be rich.
Wow, that was a goal.
That was the goal, and I could reach this goal already after maybe 8 years. So imagine at 40, I could stop working.
Because you're rich enough to... Really?
Yeah.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah, and some people, from other movements, they invited me to live in their community. It was a Vaishnava community, and in the mountains, beautiful scenario, you can imagine, beautiful, like today, in the nature, mountains, and but somehow I didn't feel that this was my way. So I continued this company, and but at a certain point, after I reached basically everything what I wanted to reach, so this success, at a certain point, life didn't make any sense anymore.
Okay.
I didn't see what is the purpose of life. I don't know, no clue.
Because you had everything.
Jai
Jai
Yeah.
Where can we stay with our car?
You can drive maybe 100 meters, and then there is a parking lot.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. So what is because the experience showed me that having success, having all kind of
Material possession, everything was there.
was there. Everything was there. Freedom, you don't have a chief. You are your own chief. You can wake up when you want in the morning. You can go in the bed when you want. So you see, there is, from the material perspective, all kind of freedom.
Wow.
This is what I defined freedom before.
Uh-huh.
Now it's a different topic. We maybe speak later. But this was how I understood freedom, richness. But this, in reality, didn't give me no satisfaction.
And you felt it, like you felt.
Oh, I felt it on my body, really.
How did it feel? Like it was like an emptiness or what?
Firstly, an emptiness, yeah. An emptiness of, I cannot define it. It was an emptiness, not only an emptiness, but also a feeling of being lonely, a feeling of being abandoned. I felt myself very often in the forest, like crying out of desperation, in despair completely. I feel alone on this earth.
And you have everything. This is strange, huh?
This is crazy, because you have, and not only, imagine, I was not married, I didn't have children, I have some relationships from time to time, but especially I had what, let's say, hold me strong were my clients.
Ah, okay. Relationship with the people that you were working with.
Yes, work relationships, let's say. And these were really the best of the whole story in the
Okay.
business was that. So these kind of relationships, which proved even in times of where things were not turning so well in the company, my clients were always holding on my side. They were always supporting. And this is, I said, wow, this was more than just a commercial relationship.
Yeah.
This was a friendship, or almost, I could say. But still, although I had all these good relationships, still the feeling of loneliness was there.
Wow.
Of being really, literally being abandoned. What the hell am I here to do?
What's the purpose? Why? Wow.
What's the purpose of all that theater,
Wow.
I don't know. Tell me. Nobody could. I mean, I was searching here and there. I was visiting spiritual masters.
Oh, so you had this calling that you might find something in the spiritual field.
Somehow I knew that only there would be the answer.
Oh, okay.
But I couldn't find it so far. I was maybe 30 years I was searching. In
30?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Different masters, different traditions, different paths. But I could not find an answer somehow. Yeah.
Wow.
Literally. So then when you ask me how your spiritual path started, and this, I would say, at that point the search started, because I said, no, this is no longer satisfying. Like it is now, I cannot go on like this, because one other thing which was, you asked me how did it show, did this sense of emptiness, physically, I could really feel it physically.
In your body.
In my body. So one thing which was really, really maybe the most impressive thing that Guruji transformed over time was anger.
Okay.
So anger was something which I was, let's say, constantly dealing with.
Because of your work? It was...
Because of, you see, when people say, actors, rock stars, when they say, I have become, let's say, victim or prisoner of my success. This is exactly what I experienced.
Ah, so the anger came from that prison that you felt.
Because everything, let's say, in the outside looks perfect, you are materially perfect, but inside there is a complete struggle, and you feel, the feeling was, I feel like a bird in a cage, you know,
Wow.
and you don't know how to come out of that cage. This is this is what makes you crazy, you know. And this was physically this anger towards myself, because I have put myself in the cage. I wanted to have that.
You chose that life.
I chose
and
that
it was the
life.
goal.
This was the goal. This was the desire which wanted to be satisfied, and it has been satisfied. Yeah, but then I was still in the cage.
You're left in the cage now because you entered there to look for something, and when you found it, it was not the thing that you were looking for.
Yes, let's put it like this. I found it, but there was a price to pay.
Okay.
And the price was this physical pain, emptiness, loneliness,
Wow.
anger, all of this. This was the price to pay for that.
It's a high price if you put it in balance, yeah?
Yes, but you see, this is, if you look at these stories of actors, pop stars, all end and exactly in the same way. Empty. Then they go into drugs, alcohol, and things.
Yeah.
This was no different in my case. I fortunately didn't go to alcohol, to drugs, smoke, nothing. But still, the feeling was the same. The feeling of the emotion, let's say, was the same. Anger, frustration, despair. You see?
So interesting, you know, because this is one of the goals that it's promoted in today's society. I mean, if you have everything, you look at the world and you say, make whatever you see your own, and then you end up with this emptiness and this despair, because despair is something, I mean, to be a little bit upset, people get upset, you have a bad day, but to have like the despair that you describe and the loneliness, all the money in the world cannot heal that. I mean, whatever you do, no? And what were you trying to do in that period? I mean, you were searching in left and right, or you had like any clue of where to go?
No,
You
zero.
just-
Zero. This is why this I would call it despair, because I was going in the forest every day and cry there and cry, God help me, I don't know what to do.
You talk with God? I mean, it was
My idea of God was
a man in the sky.
somebody,
Somebody in the sky is somewhere.
help me, and I don't know what to do. You know. Then in this period of despair, what I do then, you know, when you say from one mistake you do the second one, and then it leads downstairs, you know. So I had this company, like I said, 15 years, but towards the end I started a new company, and this was a crazy one. You know, the idea was to bring free energy generators to the people, so how the people can produce themselves electricity in their home, which is an insane idea.
You want to make powerful enemies in deadly places. Who wants that, bro? Except the people, but the industry doesn't want that.
Of course not. but I was so, this is, you know, when the mind is so, when Krishna
It
says,
is a noble goal anyway. I mean, it was amazing.
yes, but you see, you have to be also grounded in what you do.
Especially when you work with electricity.
And this is one point, you know, when it says better is to do your dharma even incorrectly than do the dharma of another incorrectly. So I was absolutely not at all at home in what is electricity, all building stuff, mechanics. It was not my field. So I was doing something which was not mine, for sure, and it was not supported at all. So I had one So after 15 years of complete success in one business, the other business was exactly the opposite.
Failed completely.
Failed. Lost money, lost relationships, lost everything. Lost.
Wow.
It was a complete.
At least now you have a valid reason to be like desperate and to cry in the forest. I lost everything.
But this was exactly that. The abandoning the company which has brought me to the success, which was my dharma, and this dharma was clearly, I felt it was my dharma.
Yeah.
It was completely supported. Abandoning that and going to something which was completely ungrounded. And then at a certain point, after 2 years, I said, okay, stop, because I'm wasting, what was more, let's say, the lesson which I got and the regret at the same time was I lost 2 years of my life. We really wasted, really wasted. And this is what made me later on the path, then on the spiritual path with Guruji, appreciate really time and value and don't waste not 1 second, And I did it, many times, many years. I'm living now since 11 years in the ashram. I remember how many years I wasted time in the ashram itself. So even in the ashram it's possible to waste time. And now, since maybe 1-2 years, there is no such thing of wasting time.
How did you manage this? I mean, you started paying attention on your schedule, having more discipline. How?
What I was considering wasting time is looking at the news, listening to commercial music. This was for me something which I knew I am wasting time, but I didn't know how to control it, how to stop it. And at a certain point, I came to the realization that it was an addiction.
Ah,
yes.
Yeah.
And
I can relate to that.
and then one day, it was Narasimha Chaturdashi. I was praying to it, Narasimha, and I asked him, please help me to remove that. And from one day to the other, it was
Really?
removed. Yes, completely.
Wow, the grace of Narasimha.
Completely.
Wow.
Completely. And this is
It's life-changing, no?
It's life-changing.
Wow.
Changing, and this, to a certain extent, I can call freedom. Not the freedom that I was considering 15 years before. This was not freedom. But this is in a certain, to a certain extent, it's a large freedom.
Wow. So this is, to go back in time a little bit, you started the second company, you abandoned the first. You said you abandoned the first completely, or it was still running and you're just investing the money from there in the other part to lose it. Okay. So,
Yes.
So you're working on this company that aims to bring electricity to people's home, and it flops completely. It doesn't work. How does the story end with the company?
Oh, that company this is a really painful
Moment of my life. We're in the forest, you can cry. I mean, you're used to cry in the forest if you want.
No, I encountered in many countries different inventors. One in Russia, in Ukraine actually, and this was one guy that the government told him, stop doing what you are doing, otherwise we kill you.
Oh my God,
yeah.
It's exciting.
This is why I was convinced this machine is not just an invention. This does exist really.
Oh wow, and it can change lives.
Potentially.
And you wanted to invest in this machine that you found?
I wanted, yes, I was ready to invest and then to take over, to produce them and then to sell them.
And it didn't happen because I don't have one, so probably it didn't happen.
No, because you know, at the end we came so close, you know, with these inventors, and then at a certain point, puff, everything stops. Yeah, they had fear. They wanted millions, you know, for their invention.
Yeah.
So then stopped.
Wow.
But this really what showed me, and this in this time, this despair was so.
It was more and more
coming because I was really drowning more and more into Maya, more and more, in complete ungroundedness, and that was crazy.
Wow. And what happens from here? I mean, you go down, and at one point.
Well, what always kept me let's say afloat was my company, the old company.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
The relationship with the clients and what you said, huh?
Right.
Feeding people. What a simple dharma, yeah?
Yeah. So simple. It was truly a simple company.
Yeah.
You see, I kept the same structure from day one to the end. The same structure, the same warehouse where so nothing changed, because I didn't want to make it become bigger and more bigger because I already didn't see any sense in making more money and
more. That's interesting that you didn't see, like you didn't want to make it grow, yeah? So you reached that stability point and you said, oh, this is enough, I can go on the long run with this.
Yeah.
Because usually people, when they have a successful product, they want to upscale it, make it even more. We heard the stories of the companies starting in a garage and now they own half of the planet because they started in the garage.
Yeah.
But you wanted to stay there in that small
corner.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That says something about you as a person, which is reassuring that there are people on this planet who don't want to go into that greed, you know, because that's a dangerous path to go.
Well, but you see, also the greed I could experience very largely, you know. So many times I caught myself in observing. Oh, I am completely pay attention. I am completely in the greed. In the greed, you know, this was constantly accompanying me. The greed, you know. I remember once, the first time I went to India in 2008, the day before I stopped at the bank and then I was looking at the bank account, and that week, so it was the weekly, let's say, report, it was showing how much money was coming into the account. So it was 20,000 euros per week, which was coming in. So I was at 480,000 euros on my bank account, which was never so high. So and in that moment I said, man, only 20,000 and then I have 500,000 and this was my record, you know. And then I said, what stupid, what, you see, but this is exactly the greed. You know?
The mind.
You know?
500,000, you put some target, arbitrary targets like numbers.
Yeah, but what does it mean? And in fact, you know, 2 years later I failed to lose everything. Because of an accident in the company, everything was in 1 second. I see it falling down. Wow. Yeah. And
you work your entire life, and it can be taken away from you in 1 second.
Absolutely. Yeah. And which showed me first time in my life, showed me that I have nothing under control. Zero.
No, that's a good realization.
Yeah. That moment I see, like, you know, in the mountains you have these avalanches, you know, and then you are just caught in the avalanche and then you cannot control anything anymore.
Wow.
This was the feeling, yeah.
And you went to India because you wanted to look for something, or you said India might be a good place to find what I'm looking for, like in spirituality, or what?
The only thing the only reason I went to India, I went to the ashram of Satya Sai Baba, And the only reason was I was not interested in Baba himself. I was interested in doing seva.
Oh, wow.
Imagine, I come there, and then you use this huge amount of people, and then somebody says to me, look, this is the office where you have to announce yourself if you want to do seva. I go there the next day, there is an elder man who says, you know, you come from Europe, from the West, you don't need to do seva. Enjoy your 10 days. We have a big library here, we have an hospital. Go and enjoy and look, see what is here. And I went out of that office, I was completely destroyed. Because my only purpose was to do seva.
I don't have to do it because I'm white and I'm from Europe and I have money, so I don't have to work. Wow. Amazing.
Yeah. So what happens? What to do? So then there was back in the time there was the internet cafes. You remember?
Yeah, you had to go to this special location. For the young generations, we didn't have internet in our pockets. We had to go to a room with other people, with computers, and there you write your emails and you pay for every minute you use the internet. Yeah, man, internet cafes in India.
Man, so I was spending the whole day in front of a computer. So 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, and my state.
But what were you doing in front of the computer?
I was building up the new company.
I came to India to build it from an internet cafe. The absurdity of the situation. Wow. Very good. Very good.
Okay, so what happened? My state of mind degenerates from day to day. Depressed, more depressed, and more depressed. So finally, there is 3 more days left of that vacation. And then I say, okay, so far it was a complete disaster. So now you can save it. You can, I would say, you can make something out of it. So what to do? I wanted to do seva. I knew this is the only thing which gives me satisfaction. So I go in the Western kitchen, in the backside of the Western kitchen. Huge kitchen, you can imagine.
Yeah.
I go there at 10 o'clock in the morning. There was 3 people cooking for 1,000 people. I say, how is it possible?
Wow.
So I go there. So there was a Mataji, a Russian Mataji. She was lifting a huge pot. I asked, can I help you? And then she said, she was not so much in the mood. So then I help her, and then, okay, she becomes more soft. Okay, then she shows me something to do. Good. Okay, so 1 hour passes, then other people join. So then
Bigger team.
We start to cook, and okay. And then at a certain point, the chief come. The chief, she was from South America, and then she says at the end of the shift, let's say at 1 o'clock, she says, she grabs me at the arm. She says, "What are you doing at 4 o'clock? I want you here." So the elder man said, "No, there is no need for seva." And then you go in the kitchen, you find out the truth, which is that, of course, in every ashram,
Especially the kitchen. I mean, the kitchen is...
there is always to do it in the kitchens.
Yeah.
Always. In
There's
ashram
no break.
kitchen. No.
There's no break in the kitchen. People eat every day.
Yes.
Wow.
So then I went, of course, at 4 o'clock. We met again. Then the next day again, seva. So the last 3 days saved the whole vacation.
And you felt the difference?
Yeah, come on, this is day and night. It's completely, this was the purpose, when we are talking about, before you asked me, the purpose, what is there is, in my life there was no purpose before. And then I found, but this happened already before. When I was 23, this was the first experience of how does seva impact me. This was the first experience, and since then, the best vacations I had in summer, for example, I went always in ashrams and
To do seva.
to do seva. Yeah.
Seva being selfless service, because you don't gain anything. That was,
No,
you were still working your ass out, but you were not gaining anything except helping out.
but the reward in terms of inner satisfaction, this is incomparable.
Yeah.
You cannot get it in any other. See, in my case, I had the best job, the best relation with my clients, but this didn't give me that satisfaction which seva gave me all time.
So good, such a good story of. Yeah, because we fall into this illusion, in this trap, like you said, this Maya tricks our mind tricks us that if we have everything, that's the goal. Then you can retire, buy an island if you have enough money, and do nothing.
Yeah.
And basically, the goal is to reach that point where you have to do nothing. And when you go on the spiritual path, the goal changes, and you realize that until your last breath you have to act and to do something, but stop doing it for yourself, do it for others.
Right.
So beautiful.
In a selfless way, and this is the best medicine actually.
So you went to India. That was the first time you did seva, and you went into an ashram and you understood the ashram cultures, basically, no?
No, this was not the first time I went to. I did seva, so I was already maybe 20 years doing seva
Oh wow!
in different places, and I was already in ashrams before
Oh, okay.
for a shorter time.
You were just visiting ashrams.
Yeah, just to do seva. There was no other purpose behind it.
But how did this seva came? I mean, how did? It's something that clicked. It's something that was taught to you, or you just did it once and you said, "I want to do this."
Look, it was in a meditation academy. This was an Ayurvedic congress worldwide in Switzerland, and so they were looking for people just putting together some leaflets. You know, it was a simple job, but the satisfaction I got from that, nothing was in compare with what I was doing before.
Oh, wow.
So it was not something that somebody told me, or I
You
read.
experienced it.
To experience, yeah.
Because you were working anyway super hard, probably, to keep your company running. But yeah, I remember, I think Guruji told that story about the doctor that was unfulfilled.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he told him just work one day for free.
Right.
And then working one day for free changed his life completely.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's nice, huh?
Exactly. Yes.
It is what you felt somehow, no?
Absolutely. This is exactly the story that I was thinking now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing, because now it gives meaning, helping, giving back.
Right. Right. Yes. This is a good point. Giving back. You know, because we have received. I mean, now we Guruji, now put it what we did now the last, in my case, my 11 years with Guruji. Of course, I will never be able to repay what he gave me, but at least something, a little amount, you know, an effort. As you know, I want to give, you know, and this gives the biggest satisfaction at all.
Giving back.
Giving back, yeah. Give to people, you know, because this what Guruji asked us to do. Just to sharing our experiences, listening to people what they need, and giving what we can do, what we can give, and it's the best. There's nothing better for me. It's so simple it is.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
And the mind wants complicated things, but it's actually super simple.
It's so simple and so simple. And what we receive actually is way more than what we give in reality.
Yeah.
So this is what fills my life, you know. So now there is this fullness there, which was not there before. So, you know, this emptiness that Guruji filled in myself, he didn't feel it with more people. You know, somebody maybe may think, okay, now I have thousands of friends.
Yeah, this community, you're surrounded by people in the ashram.
No, it just felt the emptiness. That's it. Yeah, that's it. And now there is fullness, you know, and that's great.
So,
great experience.
so how did you met Guruji at the end of the day? I mean, you traveled to India multiple times, or
No, only once.
Yeah, you went there then.
And Guruji, I met him actually 1 year before going to India.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but it was an incredible encounter. You know, it was darshan.
Where?
And in Switzerland.
In Switzerland. He came to Switzerland.
He came there.
What year was this?
It was 2007.
2007. Okay.
Yeah. So the darshan was like this. So I look him in the eyes, and then I feel this immense love in his eyes. And then inside there is a voice, me, which says, "Give me more, more, more." And you see and I felt the intensity increased, you know. And at a certain point I could not hold it. I started crying. So I couldn't stop crying. I tell you. And then Guruji took me, you know, on his lap, lap like this, and I was crying.
Wow.
And he maybe I don't know how many minutes, and then at certain points we look each other, and then he asked, "Is everything okay?" And then I didn't know what to answer, if yes or no. I was completely done, really.
Shut down the mind.
Completely.
Go into that love.
Yes. I never experienced so much love before. Never.
Yeah.
And yeah, but although I had this experience, which was so strong, I didn't feel the urge to come closer to him. Later, I didn't read what he was writing. I didn't have any urge to go towards him.
To build a relationship.
There was absolutely no. Because remember, this was in the time where my company was growing the most. So I was so much into that mindset of my company and me and
I.
no other. This
Yeah.
I, which is, you know,
I, me, mine.
yes. And this idea of having a master, a guru, was completely something foreign to my mind. You know, because imagine you have experience for 10 years already.
Being your own boss.
You are your boss. I wake up when I want.
Nobody tells me what to do.
And this was so much, how do you say, rooted, this mentality. It was so much, you know, this independency. I want to be independent.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
And you worked your whole life for that. To have everything so you can do what you want.
But it's what society preaches.
Yeah.
You know, all these people, the self-made men, the businessmen, which became, they say, this is me who have built up everything on my, with my strength.
My strength. I'm the doer. I'm the doer. I am the one who's doing the money.
Yeah.
And
so
you can do
crazy.
it too. If you come to my classes and pay me this crazy amount of money, then I will show you how to make money. But first, I'm gonna take all your money to force you to make more money because you have to pay me more. Yes, an endless crazy cycle that we live in. It's so absurd.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But you see, especially this was another point. I would say the danger of becoming dependent on somebody, right? Which is let's say connected to the independence thought of before, you know. So being dependent. Why should I? If you know, you have to put the things in context. Back then, I was, let's say, with people, with friends. We were meditating together. There was meditation circles everywhere.
Oh, so you're participating in a spiritual practice.
Yes, yeah. So it's just meditation, and then back then it was around the year 2000. So there was this concept in the etheric world, in the esoteric,
Esoteric.
which is also etheric,
Yeah.
that nowadays you don't need a master.
Ah,
The
because
master.
your own master is inside you.
Yes,
It's
come
a
on.
good justification. I mean, I don't need someone in the outside because my inner voice knows best.
Yes.
I know that. I know. I read all those books also. I thought the same before meeting Guruji. I'm my own master.
And this was really, all these people, all these friends were sharing the same idea. So also I got, let's say, also into that idea.
Yeah.
So why should I create how do you say, a dependency on somebody
outside.
if I have it already here? So why should I?
And plus my master that's inside myself will never tell me something bad about myself because he's gonna agree with me
Yeah.
all of the time. So it's not that uncomfortable, because if I have a master outside, he might say, "You're stupid, you're on the wrong way, you're on the wrong path." But my master from the inside is gonna be with me. He's not gonna challenge me.
Exactly.
Yeah, very good.
So that's why I never considered this idea of having a guru. Never. Until 1 year later, the accident happens in the company. What happens? One customer, it was the major client, he calls me in the morning and he says, he wakes me up from sleeping, by the way, I was still sleeping. And then he says, I have bad news for you. I said, oh man, what now? And then he says, there is a laboratory, food safety agency in Switzerland. They found out poison in your products, in your food products. So toxins, aflatoxins.
Oh.
And then he said, we have already put a plan to call back all the products from the stores. And I said, man, what the hell? This is a bad news. And then I found out that I had other products which were contaminated. So it was a huge chain of effects. Then my suppliers in Italy, they stepped back. They said, no, you are because of you, the toxins are in the product and we are not responsible. Business partners turned their back to me. And again, I felt alone.
Literally alone.
This time really literally.
Wow.
So you lose clients, you lose money, you lose everything. And at that moment, I remember it was at how do you say, New Year's Eve.
Very good time.
Yeah, it was some days before. At New Year's Eve, I went to the forest. I didn't want to have no party, nothing. I was not in the mood, so I went to the forest. And then I said, God, I see everything is falling apart. My company is falling apart. My fortune is falling apart. If you want to take everything, take it. All my money, take everything. I don't want anything anymore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that moment it was such a release. So much weight, so much fall down from my shoulders. It was such a freeing feeling.
Wow.
So I'm not attached anymore to that money. Keep it. Yeah.
Huh.
This was really a really beautiful experience of letting go. So what happened then in the months later happened that I could find new suppliers, better suppliers. We did analysis, so everything came back to normality, let's say.
Wow.
Yeah. And then imagine I was already trying 2 years to sell that company, the food company.
Yeah.
No success. I had 40 meetings and let's say
Business meetings to sell it, yeah.
to sell it, nothing happened. It's too dangerous, it's too expensive, it's too so many reasons they didn't want. At the beginning they were interested, but then they dropped. So then what happened? This was a miracle again. The moment this happened then in 2012, when I came first time in the ashram, I did seva, because this is what I was, the only thing the only reason which I came was to do seva. And I liked it so much in the ashram here in Springen. And then for 2 weeks. Then I went back to
What seva did you do?
this was a really challenge. What the guys were doing today, cleaning facilities, and removing the weed from the plates.
Wow.
This was This was really tough.
Wow.
Because you have a pain in the knees, in the back, everything.
Scrape all day. Wow.
This was really challenging.
Humbling.
Humbling, at the same time challenging, physically, mentally, everything. But the mental state was very good. I was really in a good place. Happy, nice people. I met so many nice people. They told me their stories. I said, wow, this is amazing. I was really impressed by their stories.
The stories that they had with Guruji. And
Yeah, this was what impressed me most. I say, this guru must be special. But still, I didn't want to engage with him in no way. So just a guru, nice, but there was not this need. There was still this feeling of independence is still there, so much active. You know. So what happened? 3 months later, in this time, in November, the person which was in charge of HR in the ashram calls me and says, we have seen you in summer, we had a good feeling of you, we would like to invite you to live in the ashram as a janitor, as a facility manager. And I said, yes, I come immediately, but I have a company that I have to get rid of in a way, some way. Or to sell or to do what, something. So the next day I called one guy, which 3 months before he was interested in buying the company, but the time was not the right one. And then I called him. I said, do you still want the company? And the guy said, yes. So after 2 years of trying, nothing worked. When Guruji called me, then it worked. Then
that was the timing.
You could really see how Guruji perfectly, managed.
Chose the time. Yeah.
Yes.
Huh. Wow. And you sold the company, and that's it. Pok, you moved here.
Not so
fast.
Not so fast. Especially because imagine the company, the value of the company was 250,000 plus 100,000 inventory, so 350.
Wow.
The guy came and he says, I would like to buy, but I have only 10,000. I say, how are you going?
Why are we even talking? I mean, why are we even talking?
No, he was genuinely interested. The guy was really a good man. And then, then I said, okay, now I want to speak with Guruji because I want to know more.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you guys here, HR, you are inviting me, yes, but I want to speak now with him personally. So I came one Sunday and I had a talk with Guruji of 2 minutes in the light hall. That's what, everything was clear. There was no doubts anymore.
Wow.
Yeah. This was really incredible. So and then I by the way, I told him, there is this guy who would like to buy my company. And he says, it's the right one. When I came back to the country, we started to see how to
do the acquisition, to do the contracts and stuff like that.
To do this. And then I felt that he is moving back. I said, oh no, again, same story like many others. I said, oh man, what to do now? So I started to doubt. Then there was darshan again, in Christmas darshan. And then I go to Guruji again and says, Guruji, you told me that this is the right guy, but I see that he is having fear, yes, he is scared. And then Guruji says, no, he is the right one. And then what happened? We did a business plan over 5 years. Imagine, plan the next 5 years, which is insane, because the bank because we needed 70,000 from the bank. He got 10,000 from his mother, 10,000 from another friend. So at the end, we could raise 120,000, something like this. So which was enough to start. He could not, of course, pay me the whole amount. So we decided to pay it on over 10 years, which happened, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Already after 8 years, he paid back everything.
Wow, so he's still having the company now.
He sold it this year. So now there is another person owning the company.
But the company was running, I mean, he used it.
Yes.
So the company that you founded now is still
Third
moving on, third
Yeah.
generation. Crazy.
Yeah.
Nice.
But then this was another one. So we went to the bank because we needed this 70,000, and then we go to the first how do you say, an alternative bank, for organic projects and farming and this. So we went there. They said no, too dangerous, no way. Second one, another on the same kind, anthroposophic bank, no, too dangerous. Then I say, okay, now we don't have so many chances anymore. But I remember in the little village where I was living, I had a bank there. So let's ask them, because they know me. So they see that the business is running well. So why should they deny? So we went there, and the director of the bank opens the door with such a smile. At that moment I said, okay, we don't have to speak so much because he has already given the credits. So finally we got the credit, and so I could let go and he could buy the company.
Very nice.
And this was an incredible, how Guruji made everything happen. And by the way, there is another story which I forgot completely. Before coming to the ashram, I had this big amount of money, and I said, what to do with the money? And then I wanted to buy a house. And then in this house, making Om chanting circles, making a community, let's say. Then, I was looking for land, for building this house, but it was very difficult to find land. So finally, there was in Switzerland, there was a brahmachari, Bhadrananda, the tall one, you remember. And I was maybe 2 times at his house. He was doing puja in the evening with Yashodhari, his Schwester, how do you say? Sister, yes. And I was really so much impressed how much love they put into their puja. And I said, man, I would like to live nearby to these people because they are inspiring me so much, And there was already this idea of community, living in a community. So I found 3 kilometers from there, I found an apartment which they were selling, a company. And I already went there, make contact, everything. Imagine when I was invited here by Guruji to the ashram, the contract was already on my table. I was signing the contract. Imagine when I came back then, I stopped everything. I called the company. I said, I'm sorry, now I have another option. I have to leave. They were very disappointed. But only to see what this story told me, that Guruji had already prepared, let's say, everything to come me to the ashram.
To call you.
To call, let's say my intention was to be in a community there in Switzerland, and he showed me the way, the path, but he said, okay, I have another plan for you. You see, this was what
You felt that, yeah, you had the feeling, the proper feeling to be integrated in a community anyway. Here.
No. This was no. This was actually I wanted to be in a community, no matter which.
Didn't matter.
No. The most important, no longer alone. No longer. I want to
ties to that, yeah.
To be
feeling,
in a sangha.
Yeah.
This was the feeling. You know, no matter how big. You see, in Badra it was only himself and his sister. Most of the time the sister was not even there, so it was only him. But this was the dedication that he had was so much inspiring for me. I said,
you wanted to
this is the experience.
That.
Yeah. But at the end, Guruji had another plan. Yeah.
So beautiful. And then you moved here right after, no?
In half a year after, yeah.
You moved here.
Yeah, handed over the company and then came here, yeah.
Wow. And then you started your full-time seva here. And how do you feel like, how much time has passed? It's like, it was, when did you move exactly here?
2013.
13. So it's almost 12 years now, no?
Yeah.
So after 12 years, how do you feel now?
Completely transformed.
Because I don't imagine you, like, you tell me the story of this successful businessman who was like with companies, and you're not that man, you know. I mean, you're not that man. Maybe the mindset and the skills that you learned are helping you in your seva now, but I don't see that man. Probably that man was different. I don't know.
He was very different.
It was different, huh?
Yeah. He was very different. Let's put it like this. I managed, through Guruji's grace, to transform many of these bad habits, attachments, greed, like we said, anger. This is, to a large extent, transformed. There are other things which I didn't manage yet to transform.
But you're working on them.
Still working on them.
Yeah. That's the beauty of it, is because it's not something that you can solve in a split second. It's just a process of working and being aware that's so valuable, and having the support of the community and the inspiration of the Sangha that keeps us on the path.
Absolutely.
And how did the relationship with Guruji change? Because at one point, probably you felt that he is your guru.
Yeah.
When did that happen? It happened gradually, or it was just a...
No, it was gradually. It was gradually, and you see, at the beginning, I had also times of doubt, especially when people from the outside were challenging what I was doing. I observed myself also judging and doubting Guruji at the beginning, yes, for sure. And then this growth, let's say, was growing, and this faith was growing, and the trust more and more, and that gave me a lot of stability in that relationship. You know, knowing that every time I was observing, he was really doing it for my best interest. Always. Even when he was tough, you know, and he was sometimes tough, not so many, but I remember that the little times where he was really tough, these were the lessons that I never forget, and I never did the same mistake after that lesson. You know, this is what I want to say. It was so much effective efficient in his learning, in his teaching, that through experience, that these lessons,
They stuck,
They
they
st-
stick, yeah. They don't
they
go.
are so much down, in the system.
I don't know if my memory doesn't play trick on me. I think I witnessed one of the moments when he was tough on you. And I think it was in my first darshan in 2019 in Darshan Hall,
Oh man.
and you were giving a satsang.
Oh man.
I think that it's
Yes.
true. It's true.
This is maybe the most one, the most
Yeah,
tough one.
I think I was in the room because you were talking about how to I think it was about how to relate with as a brahmachari, how to relate to Matajis, and how you could use like don't look, and you were having a satsang about this theme. And I know that Guruji stopped you like abruptly and said no. I'm not going to use the words.
No, he said, you idiot. He says, no, he said it.
He said, you idiot, no, you just look at them as they're the Divine Mother.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
And that for me, it was such a powerful moment, because the lesson that you received, it was the lesson that I received.
Man.
It was such a powerful moment, because imagine, I was the first time meeting this master. He destroyed me. He literally obliterated my mind. I was feeling so many emotions, and this angel of a master suddenly becomes into, you idiot. I was like, what? But that lesson stuck with me so much. You look at them as they are the Divine Mother.
Yeah.
And that changed my relationship with my wife.
Wow. Man.
It completely changed my relationship. Because then I understood, whenever I look at a woman, she's the Divine Mother. And I remember walking towards, because I was living outside Bucharest, the capital of Romania, and I was driving 40 minutes towards the theater. And on that road, there were like side parking lots where women were practicing their job, like, they were prostitutes.
Yeah.
And I used to pass all of the time, and there were women on the road, And it stuck with me, because you had like the parking lot where the prostitutes were hanging out, and like 20 meters from there, a statue of the Divine Mother, of Mother Mary, Because someone built it in memory for its child, probably. And it stuck with me, and I said, you idiot, they are the Divine Mother. They're working in this parking lot. If you look at them as they're the Divine Mother. Whatever other thought you have in your mind, don't have to.
Okay.
Remember what happened to Kailash. So it stuck with me. That was a really, really powerful moment for me. It stuck with me even today. All those, because as man, growing up, I was also in that environment, artistic environment. So there's a lot of temptations around. I was also surfing the internet. So women are viewed, at least in our society, in such an sexualized manner, and it's hard to take away that picture. I mean, when you go into the cities and when you see what's happening, the mind plays tricks on you.
Oh, yeah.
And when Guruji said that in that powerful moment, it's stuck in my brain. And whenever a thought comes in my mind, or my eyes want to look and linger, or lust comes, or any type of thought, I just remember that moment with the Divine Mother, and I see she's the Divine Mother. Don't think at her less than this, because she's the Divine Mother. And like I said, it's changed my relationship with my wife completely, because now I see her as the Divine Mother, and she is the mother of our child. So she's none less than divine from now on. So thank you for taking one for the team. I mean, that moment, maybe it was painful for you, but it was so valuable for the people who witnessed it.
You know what happened afterwards? In the moment itself, I was not aware of the nonsense that I was telling, because basically
It was hard for me to understand what you were trying to say. Yeah, I have to admit.
But it was the wrong subject at the wrong place. For the wrong purpose. So basically everything was wrong. So the lesson was for me, don't trust your mind. Don't trust my mind, because it can drive me really completely sideways, you know. And this was a tough lesson on don't trust your mind. You know, talking to myself, of course. And I became, when I did then satsangs later on, very, very much cautious on what
the subject and how you approach it, and
yes, because I knew that I cannot trust. Simply.
But this is the beauty of having a guru. I mean, he gives a lesson to one of us, a public lesson, and the people who witness the lesson, they draw their own lessons. And like you said, a tough lesson like this has such an impact on your mind that you don't forget it. If it would have been a joke or, you're an idiot, look at her as the Divine Mother, maybe it would have slipped away from the mind, from the ear. But because it was so tough, because it was also directed to a person, and it was like, he destroyed you then and now. In that moment you disappeared, it destroyed you completely. And I was seeing this man crumbling in front of my eyes, and I said, what is the meaning of this? Is this divine love? And it was divine love, basically. That was his way of showing how much he loves all of us.
Yes.
Giving you the tough lesson and making the audience experience something that they will never forget. Like, women are the Divine Mother, period, that's it. Yes. I don't have to argue anymore. It's the perfect lesson. Very nice.
As you see, this is also the other thing. You see, being humbled in public, this was something I was fearing all time.
Wow.
And I remember when this I experienced first time on another person, on a Swami, by the way, Guruji in the dining hall, making a test on the residents about knowledge. So what they know. So, and this was exactly, imagine the timing. I came, as I said, in 2013, I came to the ashram, brought my stuff here. The first welcoming greeting was, Kailash, we have bad news for you. Guruji will test us in some months. So this was the first welcoming. You know, you come to the entrance of the ashram, and then
bad news.
The very
bad news.
And
Welcome,
said,
but
I said, and then the guy, he was a Swiss guy, by the way. He was literally in fear because of this test. And I said, you know, chill, man, relax. We have still 3 months time to prepare. We will do everything. And imagine, I didn't know anything about Hinduism, nothing. And then, okay. And then, then I took it in the first months of living in the ashram. I took it really relaxed because my seva was really challenging. So my seva was, I was put leading a team of people which actually were professionals in their field. I was not professional in their field, so
and you had to lead them.
And they had to lead them. And they were really, if you know Jaitreya, not easy characters. Not easy. Let's put it like this to be very diplomatic.
Very good.
No, they were really difficult. So it put really me in that position, leading people who were difficult to lead.
Strong,
yeah.
very good.
And then you know, I was really many times physically really in pain because of these tensions which were constantly there. Tensions.
Wow.
Tensions. People not keeping agreements, not showing up in the meeting in the
And
morning.
you're Swiss.
And you're Swiss. By the way, you are Swiss.
By the way, that timing and punctuality is really important for me as a Swiss, and this was a mess.
Especially agreements, you know. If we give me, if you give me your word, you know, and you promise that you tomorrow at 9 o'clock you do it in the morning, and you don't do it,
Bro.
well, it was bringing out all this anger.
Yeah.
The anger that we were talking before, it was in the first, I would say maybe 3, 4, 5 years. It was bringing up through this situation, bringing up that anger that I can face it, you know, that I
And you can see it.
and it was amazing, amazing. How tough this was, you know. But yeah, this is how I did, and so I was really. I had to confront myself with that there is still this anger there.
Yeah.
And this, by the way, this is something which he transformed completely over the years. At the beginning, not. At the beginning, I was still in the you know, the pattern was repeating. Somebody provokes, and then anger, frustration, you know, the scheme. It was always the same. But then, I don't know when, at a certain time it changed. The anger then disappeared almost completely.
So basically, he exposed it, and you could see it.
Yeah.
You could work on it.
Yeah.
That's why he says he came to challenge the mind.
Yeah.
So basically, he's challenging everything that comes up in order for us to see it and work on it.
Right.
What a grace, huh?
Right. But coming back to that story of the being humbled in public.
Yeah.
So it was this test coming up in December. So it was end of July. So we are still more or less 3 months to prepare this test. Okay. I said, okay, guys, Monday back in the days was a free day. So a day off for everybody. And the more, let's say, experienced residents, they were gathering Monday afternoon to learn together for the test. Kailash said, no,
I rest. It's my free day.
So I took the bus. I went to Bad Schwalbach or to Schlangenbad. I wanted to have a free afternoon for me. The whole day was free. You know, I was still the old one, you know, which...
I do what I have, what I want.
I want, you know, my free time is my free time. Don't mess up with it. But the guys, they were more smart than me, and they were studying. And somehow I felt, man, these guys, they are not stupid. They do the right thing. But I cannot. I need time for myself. I need free time. Okay. Then time passes, and we approach the exam. So the exam, I remember the night before the exam, I was so nervous, and then I started to study. I started to study to make it
Make up for everything that you didn't do in 3 months.
Yeah.
Very good. I was doing the same. Very bad strategy. It never works, by the way.
Truly, yeah. So, what happens? Guruji does the test. Written. So, what was written one?
Oh, wow.
The day after, Guruji comes himself in the dining hall, because the test was in the dining hall. Everybody was on a table separate from the other, that you cannot copy from others.
Oh my God.
And then Guruji comes. It was maybe planned for 10 o'clock. He comes at 11. Everybody is already trembling because there are already voices spreading, rumors spreading that the ones who didn't have at least, I think 70% right, has to leave, pack his stuff and leave. So you can imagine
The tension. Wow.
this was insane. And by the way, I was very relaxed because during the test, he came and he was seeing that I was sweating really. I was struggling, and he says, "Okay, but you are here only 3 months. Relax." So he said, "Don't stress." He says, "Okay." So I took it really, really
Oh, it's not about me.
right. No, I took it really, more
Light, yeah.
lightly. Yeah. So the day after, there is Guruji comes in with Santa Claus. It was Santa Claus, by the way, around
What a prankster.
with a Santa Claus cap.
Ho, ho, ho.
So he comes in with all. Imagine there was such a package of
All the
exams,
papers,
of the
yeah.
papers. He comes in. So imagine that I have to show you the scene because this was so. Guruji comes in and says, "Okay, those who don't have 70%, you can already pack your stuff and go." This is the entrance. The people frozen.
Wow.
The people frozen.
What an entrance. He's the best actor.
Yeah.
He knows how to enter the stage. Wow, good.
This was the entrance. And then it was 2 hours of roller coasters of emotions. So from laughing to freezing to panicking, because he took everybody individually and he gave everybody a comment on everybody's exam. Everybody.
What a grace, actually, to spend that time with him. I mean,
But this was one of these lessons, one that we said already, that you never forget in your
Yeah.
life. It was so intense. So intense. So it comes the point of Swami Kurunanda. Oh man. Swami Kurunanda, Guruji said, you had 80%, but since you have a Swami, I remove 10%, so you have at 70, so it's not enough. It was so tough on him. Wow. It was so tough. And then at a certain moment he says, "Tell me, what are the Upanishads? What is inside the Upanishads?" Zero answers. So he was mute. Mute. There was in the hall, it was frozen. Everybody was freezing in that moment. Because Swami could not answer that thing. I tell you, I never seen something like this. Guruji humiliating Swami Kurunanda in front of everybody. He was the only Swami, I think, in the hall in that moment. And at that moment I said, I hope that I will never experience what he experienced now, Swami Kurunanda. And exactly this is what happened that day that you were. Exactly that. In front of everybody, you are reduced to ashes.
yes.
And but somehow, when that happened, after that happened, because I've seen then Swami Kurunanda, how he changed afterwards in a positive way. And I say, okay, if that bitter medicine is that what helped us to grow, then go for it.
Yeah, I take it.
I take it no matter what. Because afterwards I said, this is one of the best things which could happen in my life. Your reputation is destroyed.
Yes.
Your image is destroyed.
Yes.
There is nothing better which can happen to me in that moment.
Yes.
Because
It strips you from the mental construct, the image of yourself.
Yeah.
In front of everybody. If you do it in private, it doesn't matter so much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not so effective, but in public, because we always consider what other people think about us.
Right.
That gives you a lot of strength afterwards, I think, no?
Yes, and especially a lot of freedom, I would say, because you are not attached anymore to that fake image that you have built of yourself. You say, who cares? And if the people think that I am a stupid, because in that moment I was really a stupid, I did something stupid, and if they think that I'm stupid, it's they have good reason to do it, but this doesn't affect me anymore. Who cares if they think that I am stupid? Who cares? You see this this reputation, you know, which we hold on so much. And this is the best medicine. When he does it like this in public, especially, Guruji humiliates somebody. It's nothing better which could happen in that moment.
It's a lesson for everybody who is there. It works on so many levels. I mean, because it's not like you're in a company and your boss does it in front of the employees. It's your guru who knows everybody's mind is choosing the exact moment to do that fine operation, because whatever he's doing it in a collective way.
Right.
He chooses one target. I use this subject, but everybody has the lesson to draw. And I'm sure everybody in that hall
In fact,
remembers that moment, and I think they drew their own lessons for sure, like it happened when it was in the darshan with you.
absolutely. And in fact, I had feedbacks later on from other people who said me exactly the same. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have an amazing guru. This is the conclusion. And to understand also, and I think this is really important to specify, whenever he is doing this, and maybe people who came to events, maybe they witnessed or they experienced it themselves, I think it's very important to mention that when he is doing it from a space of deep love and care. And he's doing it because he knows this is the only way that he can accelerate your transformation. Because many times we have things so rooted, like you said, inside of ourselves, that it is impossible to take them out without feeling the pain.
Right.
It's like having a band-aid for so many days, and when you have to take it off, it's gonna hurt, man. And Guruji is merciful, and he does it in one go. It's like
Truly.
he uproots everything in one go, and you're like, oh, you feel like you're gonna die, but actually you're like, oh, this feels much better. Thank you for taking that negativity, that tendency that was so hard to fight.
Yes.
So it's out of love he's doing it, and this is, and I'm sure everybody who went through this type of treatment felt it at one point, this love, you know.
Yes. Yes. You see, the feeling was always afterwards this an immense relief, you know, an immense sense of
Because it's like cleaning,
Light,
it's like
lightness.
cleaning. Jai Guru there. It's like autumn cleanup.
It is.
Ashram TV.
The Ashram TV.
Ashram Live.
Yeah, this is the best. Thank you for your service.
We have Action Day today.
Action Day.
Action.
It's all about action at the end of the day.
Yes.
If we act, then we can see the result. Look how nice the alley is. Look in the back. We were talking about how Guruji cleans us, so it's perfect.
But also through that, yeah.
Yes.
Seva, the power of Seva, how Guruji is uprooting.
When we do cleaning seva.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Amazing. So, love. That's the
Yeah.
root.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the root
Definitely.
of his teaching, love.
Yes.
He acts from that point.
Yes, yes, definitely. So much. And you see, one other thing, I mean, this is also related to love, and that I would say it's an aspect of love, this immense patience. So you see, like you say, all these things which are so much deeply rooted, you know, and many of them I could not still remove them. I'm sure that will happen at one point, but so much patience he had with me, I mean, I guess with everybody. Yeah. And this is this immense love, you know. It's incredible, you know, how many years, and still certain things are not changed, but still he keeps us still in his protection, in his love, he continues giving, and you see, this is incredible, you know.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for this conversation, brother. It's been a beautiful run. I didn't knew many of these aspects, and that's why I was really curious about your story, because I always see you busy, and this being busy is part of your addiction to seva, basically.
Yeah, in a sense, yes. In a sense.
And I think it's also a good balance to find in our life to take from our precious time and limited time and to offer it to others, you know, do something in the service of others. And now, being Action Day, I think this is gonna be our next step. Like, people are already cleaning around, so I'm just gonna change my clothes and probably we're gonna do some action.
That would be great, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Thank
It was
you.
amazing. Big love. And as I tell the people, stay grounded, walk straight towards God, and see you next time, hopefully. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.